right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Today, we're going to present to you an exciting new option beginning for the 24-25 school year, Middle School Centers for Innovation. Our strategic plan, Destination 2025, provides a roadmap for student success and growth. We are committed to ensuring that all students have multiple pathways to college and career readiness and opportunities to engage in rigorous learning experiences that best meet their unique learning styles. Supporting that commitment, this center will be Henrico's first middle school program on innovation, design thinking, and entrepreneurship. And I am Dr. Dia Champ, the Director of Middle School Education, and so excited for this new adventure that we're about to embark on. And we have additional team members with us tonight. We have Dr. Taylor Snow, who's the Director of Secondary Teaching and Learning. If you want to wave, Taylor. And then we have Dr. William B.J. Crowder, Assistant Director of Career and, I'm going to mess it up, and Workforce Development. And then we have John Gregory, our Secondary Innovation Specialist. All right, so the driving why behind the Middle School Centers for Innovation is our commitment to student success. We have tremendous successful programming at all of our middle schools, including access to a robust slate of elective courses and rigorous core programming. Having noted that, understanding the future job market and skills that students need for preparation, we recognize that we have the opportunity to ignite students' passion for learning by providing the new choice in addition to the high-quality options we already offer. We feel that Middle School Centers for Innovation are a critical step for us as a division to provide additional learning experiences for students that represent the promise we make in our HCPS strategic plan and Henrico Learner Profile. The Middle School Centers for Innovation are an extension of the HCPS strategic plan. Core to our academic excellence goal is that students have life-ready experiences and a culturally responsive education. The Middle School Centers for Innovation are centered in real-world problem-solving and deeper learning. The centers also support the collaborative partnerships element of our strategic plan by partnering with VCU, which will be discussed later in the presentation, and will organically expose students to diverse career options and authentic learning experiences.
Good evening. My name is John Gregory, and I'm going to speak briefly on an additional why we have for Centers for Innovation. The Centers for Innovation have an additional focus on addressing the middle school engagement cliff, which is a significant decline in student involvement, enthusiasm, and commitment with school, typically occurring during the grades 6 through 8. Disengaged students often struggle academically and express discouragement about the future, influenced by factors like increased academic demand and social changes during adolescence. The Middle School Centers for Innovation propose a solution by providing new opportunities for hands-on learning and incorporating student choice into program pathways to reverse this engagement decline. Engaged students, excited by their learning, exhibit better grades, increased hope for the future, and greater sense of success. The centers aim to be a model in maintaining middle school student engagement through authentic project-based learning experiences tailored to align with their interests in college and career pathways.
Good evening, everybody. BJ Crowder, Assistant Director of Workforce Career Development. Really excited to be here as a former middle school administrator. This is just extremely exciting to me, and so I'm really excited about this. One of the things we wanted to do at the very beginning of all of this was look at the job market, and not just the current job market we're looking at, but also where it's going to be several years down the road. And so we looked at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and these numbers are nationwide, but also they're mirrored right here in Central Virginia. You see that STEM occupations are over doubling growth as far as non-STEM occupations. So that's a focus we really looked at. So the Middle School Center for Innovation responds to the ever-changing job market in our area. And according to when you look from 2021 to 2031, again, you see those stats and you see those numbers, and that just screams opportunity for our students. So really excited about that. It's designed to prepare students with the mindsets and skills they'll need to be successful as entrepreneurs and in those STEM occupations. So we've talked a lot about the why here at the beginning. Now we're going to dive a little bit into the how. And so developing these centers will happen through three strategies we're looking at. Partnership and alignment with the VCU Da Vinci Center for Innovation, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. Developing instructional pathways that allow student choice in their learning, and a focus on computational thinking. And so our first strategy is to align with the VCU Da Vinci Center for Innovation to embed processes and protocols across a curriculum that foster the development of empathy, communication, problem solving, and design thinking across the curriculum. Partnership will allow for teacher training, curriculum design that will allow us and lead us towards outcomes around students demonstrating the competencies and mindsets for entrepreneurship and those defined by the Henrico Learner Profile. Early on, we were looking for a partner, and I remember several years ago visiting the VCU Da Vinci Center, just being so impressed with the work that they were doing. It's truly an environment that really fosters student choice and problem solving and provides a model that we believe will be an amazing opportunity for our middle school students. You see this visual representation here. You'll see a side-by-side visual representation of the mindset of a VCU Da Vinci Center student and a Henrico County Learner Profile student. And it demonstrates that natural alignment that we believe will really foster a great partnership. You can see many commonalities such as communication and collaboration, but even the components that don't necessarily match word for word are so similar. When you look at design thinker versus critical thinker, we're right on target with so many things that the VCU Da Vinci Center is already doing. And so the Da Vinci Center is a gathering place for imaginative individuals from various backgrounds. The center planning team holds in high regard the design principles of the VCU Da Vinci Center, including a student-centered approach, the promotion, this is the one I really love, cross-disciplinary collaboration, and a dedication to fostering entrepreneurship and the transformation of education. This is going to change education upside down at the middle school level. And so how the Da Vinci Center support middle school centers for innovation? They've committed to empowering their teachers. They're going to work with their teachers with professional learning opportunities, provide them opportunities for continuous learning, micro-credentials, embedding graduate design students directly in to the center classroom, which is an amazing opportunity. And together, we're co-creating a brighter future for Henrico students across the county. The center planning team has been in direct collaboration with Dr. Garrett Westlake. He's the Associate Vice Provost of Innovation at the VCU Da Vinci Center. And we've also worked with Dr. Kim McKnight, the Director for Center for Teacher Leadership at VCU, as a partner who'll be instrumental in expanding opportunities to place teacher residents in this unique program as we do in several other schools currently. And now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Taylor Snow, our Director of Secondary Teaching and Learning.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, BJ. Wonderful to be here to talk about this, as everyone else has stated, this incredibly exciting opportunity that we're bringing to the middle school students of Henrico County. So to dive a little bit deeper into our second strategy, BJ talked about three strategies. So our second strategy is about designing relevant instructional pathways, micro-credentialing opportunities, and problem sets that give students choices as they acquire what we refer to as durable skills. So a durable skill, if you want to think about the sort of skill that exists both above, but also within multiple academic disciplines. So skills like critical thinking, design thinking, those are skills that students not only take with them from class to class, but take with them beyond school walls, take with them to careers, to college, anything that they're doing beyond the walls of the school. That's where durable skills come in, and that's where we think that students who participate in our center are really gonna stand out. But because of those opportunities that we're going to give them to acquire those durable skills. In the process, we're going to be making sure that those instructional pathways are embedded throughout our curriculum. All the students that are part of this school, or that are part of the center rather, will have access to the exact same courses as the students in our other schools. There will just be very specific embedding of the values and the skills that BJ highlighted there with the Da Vinci Center. That obviously then includes giving students opportunities not just to talk about what they may want to do when their time as a student is over, but really to dive into making sure we're exposing students directly to very specific career clusters and workplace skills. In order to prepare students for these future jobs that we've talked about, exposing middle school students to these career clusters and workplace skills early in education, we know it offers a range of potential benefits. There's no reason to wait until they're seniors in high school to talk about these sorts of things. We need to be doing it as soon as we can. And that'll enhance career awareness and exploration. It'll introduce students to a variety of career possibilities and enable students to discover those interests and passions that they may not even know that they have yet. An additional strategy we want to highlight here, our third strategy, is to prioritize computational thinking and ensure students are being challenged and supported specifically in math and science. And as students prioritize computational thinking, they'll be, again, prepared to meet and exceed grade level standards in math and science. The work we're talking about doesn't exist outside of our standard curriculum. It exists by really rethinking how we deliver that curriculum and how we can highlight these durable skills, these career clusters, and these big ideas like entrepreneurship and innovation and design thinking. And we think that our approach to that is a strong one. So just to give you a sense of what the typical schedule day for a student in the Centers of Innovation may look like. So there on the left, you see what we would consider to be a pretty traditional middle school schedule. Students spend a set amount of time, going from one discipline to the next. And while that can be very effective for lots of students and is very effective for many of our students across, we're talking thousands of middle school students in the county, that this process and this approach serves really well. But it doesn't have to be the only way. If you look at the schedule there on the right, this is what we visioned for the Centers for Innovation. There's no reason why English and math have to be taught in separate buckets. English and math have much in common, and especially when you're highlighting important durable skills, again, like critical thinking, research and information fluency, even just core academic skills like written communication. All of those are part and parcel to English and to math instruction. By working with students in a cross-disciplinary approach, that we're given more opportunities to do the types of project-based learning that BJ talked about. We are given more opportunities to highlight career pathways and use ideas and principles like entrepreneurship as a vehicle to allow students choice in the types of products they produce in the classroom to demonstrate their mastery of more, of traditional academic contents like English, math, social studies, and science. We feel that this flexibility will also allow us to really directly meet students where they are coming to us. Having a larger interdisciplinary block will mean that students will have access to more instructors, which means that teachers will have access to flexible grouping. They need to work with a small group of 3 or 4 students at a time while the rest of the students in the classroom work independently on some larger engaging project. We'll have the opportunity to do that as part of the Centers for Innovation, and it's something that we're really excited about. And with that, I'll turn it over.
Thank you, Taylor.
We're going to talk a little bit about our learning spaces.
Yeah, thank you. Not only are we planning to transform the curriculum, but we're also going to totally reimagine the learning spaces within ROF to create a more dynamic and engaging educational environment for our students. The center's learning spaces will be designed to inspire active student participation in their learning, foster teamwork, and more effective communication, and the exchange of ideas among the students in the learning spaces. This is going to mirror the collaborative nature of modern work environments. And by doing so, we're preparing our students for the future careers where adaptability and teamwork are really essential.
All right, so next, Taylor. As we prepare to launch these middle school centers for innovation, we have identified sites, staffing plans, and application processes that will position us for success as we move forward. So we've identified 2 schools with the unique opportunity to design these learning spaces where exemplary programming can be implemented. We're going to start with the John Rolfe Center for Innovation, and then in 2 years, we'll have the Quioccasin Middle School Center for Innovation. So you're going to probably ask about, so what does the admission process look like? So while all of our focus areas are embedded in our middle school aligned curriculum and shared with all of our students as a result, our target audience for these centers include middle school students with passion for learning pathways that emphasize empathy, communication, collaboration, and design thinking. We seek those with a unique desire to explore career opportunities early in their academic journey. Pathways will be formed based on Virginia's career clusters, aligning them with our program offerings that focus on innovation and venture, design, business, and engineering and technology. All Henrico Middle School students will be eligible to apply for the Centers for Innovation with the first phase, as we've stated, at John Rolfe Middle School, to those within that attendance zone. Admission to the center will be determined through the use of a lottery system based on student interest and successful completion of the previous grade level requirement. Lottery seats will be allocated for admission, would be determined based on zone middle school size. I already said that. And it's going to be for any rising 6th through 8th grade student who is zoned for Brooklyn, Elko, Fairfield, Moody, Rolfe, and Wilder Middle Schools. So those 6 schools are eligible to apply for the 24-25 school year. In regards to enrollment, the total program size at Rolfe will be approximately 150 students, which will be 50 seats per grade level, which may vary and increase as the program evolves. And for staffing, we know that a program as innovative as what we're proposing demands forward-thinking and innovative educators. As such, we will both recruit teachers throughout the division, at the host schools, and beyond our division to ensure that we have staff that can deliver on the promise that we know lies in this curriculum. So now for the timeline, the application window will open on November 29th. That's going to be the same day that we have our in-person information session, and it'll close on December 20th, right before we go home for winter break. Acceptance letters will be mailed on January 12th, and students will have until January 30th to confirm their acceptance. We try to align this with other middle school programs that have application processes right now, so that students will get this information at the same time, and then they can make an informed decision based on those acceptances. A waiting list will be established, and the students on the list will be contacted if openings become available by February 9th. And that concludes our presentation. At this time, we will answer any questions that you have. I know we have a sheet that we're looking at right now so that we can answer those questions.
All right, thank you all. So some of the questions that we've received already have already been answered, but we can start with, we have a few who are interested in information about homeschool. So if a student is homeschooled this year, would they still be eligible to apply, or would they have to register for fall 2024 before they can be considered?
So this kind of speaks to the in terms of like application requirements. The goal with using this lottery process is that we're removing barriers to access to the center. So our only core requirement for application, besides living in Henrico County in one of the middle school attendance zones that we identified in the presentation, is successful completion of the previous grade. So what that would mean in effect for families with students who have been homeschooled previously. If let's say you live in the Rolfe Middle School zone, but have homeschooled your student in 5th grade, we would need verification that the student had completed the requirements embedded in the previous grade level. That is typically a process we do upon any student re-enrolling or enrolling in Henrico schools, be it from a private school or from a homeschool setting. So yes, that is open to anybody who has residence in one of those middle school zones. We would need, prior to the student enrolling, not as part of the application process, but prior to the student enrolling, assuming they were selected, we would need just the information about the previous grade level being completed successfully.
Thank you. So we have someone who would like some clarification. Is the Center for Involvement another specialty center like IB and GISA?
So it is a specialty program. I want to say like IB and GISA, those are two very unique programs. So, and this is maybe in the weeds a little bit, but I don't see IB and GISA as extremely similar. Besides the fact that they share the idea that students are applying to attend those centers from outside of their typical attendance zone, and transportation is provided via our hub system. So in that sense, it is like those centers. The application process is different for these centers for innovation, but in the sense that they are programs that people apply to from outside of their specific attendance zone. Yes, they do have that in common.
Okay. And you mentioned transportation. That's going to tie into one of our next questions. So someone who has a student at Quioccasin is interested in knowing if they would be able to drive their student to Rolfe to be in the program.
So at this time, because we're talking about enrollment limited to about 50 students per grade level, and because of the logistics around being able to provide transportation, we would want to be able to provide that opportunity to everyone as possible. So the middle schools that would feed into the Quioccasin Middle School Center zone, that program will open up for 26-27 upon the completion of the new building that will become the new Quioccasin Middle School. For the 24-25 school year, we would be just talking about students who are zoned to attend those 6 middle schools that Dia noted in the presentation. John Rolfe, Elko, Wilder, Moody, Fairfield, and Rolfe. Or Brooklyn, sorry. I said Rolfe twice. There we go.
Oh, good. Awesome. So we have for the November 29th meeting, then they're interested if they are able to register their son during that time. And if so, what should they bring?
So this is a really great part of the application process. Because of the lottery process we're using, the application is going to be quite simple. It will come as a message in Parent Square to all of our middle school and elementary school families for these specific attendance zones. And the application will take, I've tried it on my own, about a minute and a half. You'll need to basically, just as a parent or guardian, ensure that you are interested in your student being considered for the lottery for the center, and that's it. So nothing will need to. We will have at that November 29th session instructions if you haven't signed up for Parent Square yet, so that you can make sure you've signed up for Parent Square. We'll have some QR codes, some paper copies of QR codes there, so that you can just literally get registered on your phone, or not registered, get register for the lottery, submit your application at that time.
Mm-hmm. So we have our next. If my son is already enrolled in IB, does he need to apply for this program, or is he eligible to apply for this program?
So in terms of eligibility, I'm trying to make sure we're covering our bases, or not covering our bases, ensuring that I'm reflecting the policy correctly. So at any time, a student is eligible to leave a center. So if a student who, like, let's say they attend Rolfe and are in the IB, or they're in a Rolfe attendance zone but attend Fairfield for IB, if that student were to leave the Fairfield IB program, they would then be eligible at whatever grade level, yes, to apply for that Center for Innovation, is my understanding. Dr. Champ, does that track with your understanding of the process?
If they're already in a program, we'll have to come back.
Okay.
Right, because if they've already been accepted into one program and they've already started that program, and because it's based on seats, they would be actually opening up a seat that could have gone to someone else. So I believe if they're already in one program, they would stay in that program. Unless they're incoming students could, but we would need to double check. We can look at who submitted that question to provide clarification. But because we're focused on seats, I'm thinking folks are committed to those programs because of that seat allotment. Is that how it is, Dr. Crowder?
Yeah, I believe so. I think if they're a rising sixth grade and they've already applied for IB, they can also apply for this.
Right.
Yes.
I think that's clear. I hope that's clear. But we can clarify that on our Q&A.
Yes, we will do a FAQ. So would students have to reapply each year if they are initially accepted?
No.
No.
Okay. And this was submitted, just a question of if they can apply online, and then you did mention that it is possible because it will come out through Parent Square. And then I saw that in the chat, there were some people who couldn't get access to one of the links, but I hope that we can try to reflect. I see that there was a follow-up question for what if seats are gone?
They can be they'll be added to the wait list.
All right. How will the math and science align with the high school level specialty centers?
So we're still working on mapping out sort of the specific curriculum pathways, especially in these first couple years. We'll have students obviously at the 7th and 8th grade level who will be coming into the center at different levels, especially for math. So in our 8th grade class, we're fully expecting to have some students who are scheduled for pre-algebra, some who are scheduled for algebra 1, and some who are scheduled for geometry, maybe some who are scheduled for algebra 2 even. So in these first couple years, that's just there's going to be a lot that depends upon the students that we have and the needs that they have. And then as we map out the curriculum more directly, we'll have a greater sense of sort of the way we're going to define pathways for our 6th graders as well. So still in process on that one, but that's a great question.
All right, thank you. All right, so it looks like they're asking for clarification that if a student is interested in joining the Innovation Center, does that mean that they will be removed from IB? Or is there a possibility that they can do both? And I believe that that's what we're looking to get some.
They would not be able to do both. They wouldn't be at the same school sites. Rolfe Middle does not have an IB program.
Okay.
And we'll get clarification. Yeah, and we'll provide clarification on the FAQ whether or not they can leave one center to the other to go to a different one. I would think no, but I'll get clarification just to make sure. And it's just because of the concern students are applying and they have a seat. So then what happens when that seat is vacated?
Thank you for that clarification. When would Greenwood students be able to apply?
It depends on what their zoned middle school is. If they're zoned for Brooklyn Middle School or Moody Middle School, they can apply to the Rolfe Center for Innovation. If they're zoned for Quioccasin, because I know sometimes some of those attendance zones are different, then they will apply for the 26-27 year when Quioccasin Middle School becomes available.
And next we have, what is the process after lottery selection? And what is the criteria in student selection process, like grades from a previous year or recommendations?
It's completely.
So it's a pure, it's a pure lottery system. And so really we're looking for students who have completed the academic requirements of the previous school year. Once they're selected, they have the opportunity to confirm their selection by January 30th. And so it's really a selection and then a confirmation of the selection.
And it's going to be really important as a family to discuss, is this program the right fit for your child? Are they truly interested in design thinking? Are they very that creative, thinking about ideas and that creation piece? That's kind of what we're looking at. Are they truly interested in collaborating with other students? Are they truly interested in the communication piece? Are they truly interested in are they empathetic, and are they willing to work with other people? That's the type of student we're looking for, because it's not an isolated thing. It's pretty much, it's very collaborative, and it's all about that creation. When you think about what kind of activities does your child like to do? I have a child who loves Roblox. She loves creating buildings. She wants to see, she has this idea and she wants to see it come to life. So that's the type of student we're looking for. So having that conversation as a family is, does this program meet my child's needs? Because it is kind of that out of the box thinking, which is different from other centers that we have currently for middle school students.
And the timeline does match up directly with IBMYP and with GISA. So students applying to those programs, you'll find out the same day which programs you got into, and the deadline for deciding would be the same as well. So the timelines line up. You'll be operating with full information about the centers to which you have access.
Awesome. So we had another question to come in about the application. So the application will be online, and that will be coming out through Parent Square. And then we have a question. My son has expressed interest in building robots. Would this be something that may be a good fit for him?
That's creation. So possibility. They're creating something new. We have had someone who was talking about the opportunity of robotics, or someone who likes Legos, that whole creation piece. So have an in-depth conversation, and this may be a good fit for him.
All right, thank you all so much. So that is all that we have right now on our list for questions. If anyone has any additional questions, please feel free to use that link so that we can submit. We're going to keep our recording going until we finish up for the evening. So I'll give you all a few moments, just if there are any additional questions for us to address. Again, thank you all so much for being here tonight.
I see a question in the chat. The first Center for Innovation will take place at John Rolfe Middle School.
Thank you for catching that.
Leslie, you see the hand raised?
Yeah, I was trying to go over to that. So it looks like we have 2 hands raised. Do you want us to take questions here or pause the room? Let me see if I can pause the room.
If we put it in the chat.
Yeah, is it possible that you can put your question in the chat? Or use the link?
What kind of arrangements for transportation? Basically, it will be similar to, it's like a hub system. So based on the attendance zone, we're looking at a hub system where they will start, where the bus will pick up, I guess, at your current address, and not address, excuse me, your current pickup spot, take you to a hub, and then that will transport the student to Rolfe Middle School. Hope that was clear. So once again, wherever their current stop is, they'll pick them up from that stop. It's going to be an earlier time, take them to the hub, and then the hub bus will bring them to Rolfe Middle School.
All right. So this says for students who do not currently attend Henrico schools, will they still be able to apply through Parent Square?
We should have the link. We now have a Middle School Centers for Innovation page that's live, so we should be able to put the link as well on that page.
And I can leave that link for you all so that y'all can.
For the directly to that page. So
yeah.
It should.
I see one question talks about what if you get into IB also? You would have to make a choice at that point.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You would have to confirm one or the other.
That's the other reason why we try to align all the applications. So
Yeah.
say you get accepted into all the centers your child applied to, then you all make the decision which one is best for your child. Fun times. Yes. Sorry, the Rolfe, will Rolfe zone students follow the Rolfe bus schedule? Yes, they will.
All right, and it says, what if we have X on reading?
As long as they've met their grade level requirements, they can still apply.
So they continue the program at high school. So this opportunity provides a great pathway to go into a specialty center in Henrico or an ACE center program. And so there's definitely multiple options out there for students that align very well with this middle school program.
Yes. Will the Rolfe Innovation Center be in its own wing or area or spread throughout the school? They'll have their own wing, and then they'll have certain spaces in the elective wing as well.
This is to confirm a sixth grader currently at Creoccasin would never have an opportunity to apply as the program would not have started at would never have an opportunity to apply as the program would not have started at Creoccasin before they left.
Correct.
All right, we have, my son is currently in the gifted program and is shipped from his home stop to Henry Ward, but we are moving within the county. Will that hinder transportation for the upcoming year?
What zone will they still, what school will they be zoned for? Did they say Ward Elementary?
Yes, that's what it looks like the current stop is.
So that's still going to be the current attendance zone.
Yeah, that would still be the current attendance zone.
Because the schools that will feed into Rolfe are Brooklyn, Moody, Wilder, Fairfield, Elko, and Rolfe. So if they feed into any of those middle schools, if they're zoned for any of those middle schools, that's who will attend Rolfe.
Yep.
Well, thank you all so much for being so engaged and having such great questions for us tonight. Mm-hmm. The link that was dropped, I can share that again. That has the information for the innovation centers as well as application information. Please feel free to explore the website.
Mm-hmm.
And then if there are any additional questions, you all can please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer them as best as we can. So I don't see any additional questions. I don't see any additional questions on our doc, and I know people have started leaving out. So I would like to thank y'all.